Great morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Q&A. Today, we're going to be taking a look at questions and answers, of course. We're going to be doing some quick TA at the beginning. So now is the time for you guys to let me know what assets should I be looking at. Remember that they can be crypto, they can be forex, they could be any kind of assets that you would like me to take a look at. But we're going to be capping up at max of 5. So I'm going to be starting with Bitcoin, and then we're going to be doing 4 more. So if you are one of the few that can let me know which one we're going to be taking a look at, then please do, because remember, today is going to be a limited time, and then we're going to be bringing up Maria up in the stage, and we're going to be looking also at how to build up a portfolio. You're going to have my suggestions on what to look at. Also, it's going to be a live learning scenario. Basically, I have not yet used it. I've actually got engaged by Maria, and he told me, would you like me to walk you through how to use the webpage and stuff? And I say, no, I would really like to kind of like do an actual learning scenario, so I can actually honestly kind of like come up with my questions. How do I flow over that, and also works as a feedback for Mario. So let's get started. We have Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin is the number one. We're gonna be looking at that one. So you're saying Bitcoin daily? Absolutely. In fact, I think it's worth to take a look at Bitcoin weekly and daily. So there we go. We have Bitcoin, Rune. Hello, it's Crypto Viking. What's up, Abage? What's up, a common man crypto? Mantis in, well, ARP could be, but let's also give a chance for another 2 more. So if you want me to take a look at some asset, please let me know. And I always get asked, is this Bitcoin only? Do you guys ever do Forex or something else? Yes, we do, but you need to request it, right? So if you want to look at something other than crypto, please let me know. This is your chance. If not, well then, you know. All right, let's take a look at that. So let's get started with BTC. I'm writing them down here. So BTC, then we have Rune, then we have Metis, and we have Solana. And then if we have chance, we'll take a look at ARB. We still have one more chance to look at something else. So if you want me to, now is the time. If not, they're gonna take your place. So remember, it can be Forex. Perfect. Link, and then we have S&P 500. That's an important one. They both came at the almost the exact same time. So I'm gonna make a decision here, and I'm gonna do link for if we have time, which I don't believe we're gonna have time, but we're gonna do S&P 500 first. So because we haven't seen that one, so we'll do S&P 500. And by the way, we look at link today in the Piper Academy. So if you haven't watched that one, please take a look at it. Also, an announcement: yesterday's class was recorded, but the recording audio failed, so you can only hear interference. That's why it was not uploaded. Nonetheless, I already went through a couple of debugging steps, and this session will be uploaded, and it is being recorded as we speak. Also, let me just make sure that everything is running. So test. Perfect. Everything, it is good to go. So let's take a look at, and let's get started with Bitcoin, and we're gonna be moving fast, guys. All right, so this is RNDR. All right, RNDR looking good. A possible further move to a downside, and then possible bounce. So let's move out of that one. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. Here we go. Let's get started with the oldest chart that I have, and then we're gonna be looking at different scenarios, because we are engaged within a range. Remember, I love ranging because that's where I start getting the most out of my trades. Also, remember that what was it, either Friday or Monday, I was talking about the range most likely to be breaking to the upside. And that's because of the 4-hour, we have a very high prime score. We were moving to the upside in here, and then also we were making that pressure to the upside here, and we have a little bit more support than that resistance. But also remember that in the long run, I am expecting to have a pullback, a severe pullback to the downside, somewhere around 38K. And yeah, you guys may recall that area. We're gonna be looking at it, but yeah, somewhere around 38K for a possible scenario before the halving event. So just be aware, be prepared for whatever is happening. I am prepared right now, and I'm pretty calm. And why is that? Because I already have purchased at this area and I'm holding it. So I will not be purchasing anymore at this area, and I'll be purchasing either when it goes back down or start breaking some key resistance. We go for that retest, and that's what I'm gonna be re-entering, not financial advice, guys. So please bear that in mind. All right, too much blah blah. Let's get started with the weekly. All right, weekly, you can see here that I was expecting basically the range to happen down here. Nonetheless, the range is been going on way up here, so farther up there. We'll see that in a second. Nonetheless, I am expecting this pullback to happen. Also, remember I called for 38. That is on daily, and I'm gonna get back between daily and weekly, but I want to clear things up in here. All right, so remember, A and B drop and fake out and then retrace, right? A and B, Bitcoin ETF approval, then retrace. We did not have the fake out, and then we're going up. Nevertheless, right here, we did not have the halving event closer to us, and that's why I was expecting a farther range down here, somewhere around, there you go, you guessed it, 38K. I'm still also looking at this support zone. That is a very strong trend line that comes all the way back down here at Saturday 31st or somewhere around there, December 2022. Give you guys 1 second, please. Just 1 second. Thank you. Oh, thanks there. Sorry for that. My bad. So everything started going crazy here, and I see why. Thank you for the heads up there. So let me go to my chart. Sorry, my bad. And we are here. All right, let me explain it back. So A, B, drop, fake out on the dynamic reactor, right? And bounce back up. A, B, then supposed to go the drop, but then we have the ETF approval right here. So I'm also going to be removing that one. Then we had the drop where to the dynamic reactor. So the timing was slightly after. Here we go. Let me update that. All right. And we went for that, not exactly a fake out, but we went to grab that dynamic reactor right here. There we go. Let's just leave it like that. And then let me lock this one. And we're going for the bounce. Just look at the bounce, went higher than the previous A and B area. But remember here, we did not have the proximate halving coming up. That's why I was speculating for a farther move to the downside here, or not farther move to the downside, but a range down here and then moving ahead. But what we can see is that we're going for this top of the box, all right? And as you can see, this top of the box has been playing out as a resistance. The only time that it did not play out was when the ETF was announced and we have this movement. But then again, we broke below, inside the box, and we've been making that pressure. So what am I expecting, or what am I looking for? I'm looking for this low area, 38, you guessed it, right? So remember, that is the area that I'm looking for a possible retracement, and maybe now instead of making this small range, maybe do some of a bigger range. All right, so for now I'm gonna update this area, so I'm gonna remove that, and I'm gonna be drawing let's also remove this one, and I'm gonna be drawing a little range in here. All right, this is a loose analysis. All right, this is a loose analysis. This is basically just me speculating, moving sideways until we get to the halving event. All right, let's do now the TA, right? The important thing, and see if my analysis kind of like it goes somewhere or not. So I am pretty bullish right here on a prime score, which means that I could keep going up. I already have broken through the zero line in here. I am doing kind of like a duck face or a goose head right here, right? So I am glad to see that, because remember, I have bought on this area, And look at that goose head. Usually when we see a goose head, we see a further movement on those highs. So we have a high here, and as we jump, as you can see, it was minimal, but we have that continuation. We have the goose head here again, and then as we peak moved or finished, we did have this slightly, but keep moving to a continuation to the upside. So we can keep going. In most of the cases, those goose heads play out to the upside. So I am expecting a possible section somewhere around, I don't know, still 44.6 or something. We'll see on the 4 hour, right? Other thing that I need to acknowledge is that we have a big and long-lasting trend line that happens to be all the way back to December 2022, and also we find back support on September 2023, and we are kind of like a far away from it. Nonetheless, it's still there. So I'm not actually expecting for us to hit 33, but that is still where I do have an open order. Just so you know, I do have an open order somewhere around 33K, 34K. And why? Not because I don't expect it not to happen there. I do see support and I prepare for a black swan scenario, all right? So now let me throw in some support and resistances. Look at where most of my support are right here, all right? Everything is all the way down here at 32. So to be able to get there, I don't actually expect it, but also let's see something important playing out here. Let's just leave this to update, which is the side volume profile, all right? And now that we have limited or have zoomed into this area, we'll see that so far on here we have retail buying. So that's why you can see it holding there. If we go down, we have smart money buying at dynamic reactor. If we break dynamic reactor, we have smart money selling, so be careful. And finally, in here we have smart money buying, smart money selling, and then we have retail coming in very strongly all the way to 26, but I don't believe we're gonna get there so far. All right, let me show you something else, which remember at this point, if you want to have more detail, you zoom in, all right, and it's gonna limit the amount of candles and you're gonna have a more defined chart, right? But if you want to go kind of like a more bulky per se or stronger, you just make sure you fit more candles in here and you see, well, let's just leave it for 1 second for it to load. And here we go, it's loading. And you'll see that we have much stronger areas right here, still pretty much the same. So be careful here. Let's just take a look at weekly and also take out everything and just do some classic trend lines here. So far we have this upcoming trend line. We have this one that is already long gone. What else do we have? Let's see if we have some order blocks, which we do. In that order block, it's all the way right here where we are basically right now, 42,000. So we're fighting that order block. And let me zoom in so we can see it much better. Here we go. That order blocks, that's why we have been fighting that area. So on weekly, we are on previous high. Look at that, basically on the previous dead cat bounce, very close to that area. So again, just be careful. We are very bullish on weekly, and a movement to 40K, 38 wouldn't be that crazy. All right, so I'm trying to prepare there. So all right, enough with Bitcoin, guys. Any questions so far on Bitcoin, please let me know. Now it's the time so I can read you guys and see if everything is clear. All right, turn on volume profile. It's turned on. Thanks. Anytime of what the volume blocks go to. All right, I'm not. Oh, I see. You're responding. How do you get those levels? Those are part of the, there we go. Thank you for that, Dagat DT. Thank you for that. It's part of the market dynamics, and Dagat showed you where to turn it on. What else? Any questions? If I'm missing anything, please tag me or redraw or copy and paste it so I can answer that. Trader range, brother. Exactly. You know it, brother. You know it. Keep cool. Thank you for that, brother. What else? All right, let's move into Rune. Let's take a look at Rune. Rune, we haven't traded. We actually closed a trade, I believe, 2 weeks ago, right? So I think it's fair to see how is it playing out. But let me tell you that everything's kind of like in that limbo at this area. But we could be having big movers. So let's see. It was Rune. Perfect. Let's go to Rune. Rune, what time frame? All right, Rune, weekly, going for that retrace. This is important on weekly. I'm just going to be doing weekly now because we are at here, all right? But we have an open analysis. We are at a zero line, so we could be expecting the most likely scenarios that we pull up in here, and we can see that, all right? Just be careful because we are on the money flow POC, so this could be a dead cat bounce. That depends on Bitcoin, all right? Let me now go to a little bit more something that we can relate to, which is a daily. Let's take a look at daily. Let me also make this smaller. Here we go, much better. And look at that, we did have that bounce out of this area. Let me go back and dive finally on the 4 hour and see what else we have. Daily bullish, by the way. 4 hour now turning bullish, and that is a good news, all right? So let's just take a look at what has happened. We've been looking at this trend line to be support so far. And remember that I was expecting a double bottom. That double bottom happened. And then we changed of direction, how and when, basically as we draw another trend line. So let's do that trend line manually right here. And you can see that we've broken that trend line, but it is on the way, the dynamic reactor, and we are above the zero line. Basically, we went at support. And by the way, this order blocks are from Jacob Maccabee. Here we go. It's a volume profile bar magnifier. We have a strategy which is dedicated to a falling knife strategy, basically using this indicator as almost the soul of that strategy. So very cool and very strong indicator right there. And it's free, by the way. It's free. So looking bullish. Now let's start adding some support, classical support and resistance, just to make sure that everything is looking correct. All right, so we have our trend resistance to be bullish now, all right, which is giving us not only a support area if we retrace, but also telling us that the most probable scenario is that we keep moving forward to the upside, all right? Then remember this trend line. Well, look at where is our prime range, all the way up there, basically making confluence for a possible movement up there. We are bullish on prime score and 9 on our consolidation score, which means we are strongly consolidating, but we are at the end of the consolidation state. So we could be breaking at any time that range. Be careful, be careful, be careful. So prepare for the breakout. So far seems to be bullish. Let's just wrap it up to see the rest of the story, all right? And let's see our profile magnifier. We have retail buyings in here. So basically retail buyings. I'll be trying, I'm not gonna be trading Rune because I'm gonna be trying to concentrate on Bitcoin. And also not financial advice, but I'm looking at Hello, all right? Just so you know. I'm looking at Hello, I'm looking at Link, I'm looking at Solana. Solana, come on. Just remember, guys, if you were on today's Piper Academy, Solana is just having a little bit of trouble with their chain. So, come on, Solana, right? And also I'm looking at Cardano. So I need to look at a couple of other things. For me, Rune, it's a very nice one, but not something that I'm going to be looking at this particular moment. I first need to see a movement, and then I'll reassess what am I going to be doing, all right? So what is a good positioning or zone to position or to enter? Look at that we have low volume all the way down here. So if by any chance we go back down here, this is a very nice entry zone for accumulation. For trading, this is this box that I already have marked. It's a good zone for trading entries. And where are you going to be selling? Look at this negative volume, all right? So negative volume here, and also we have positive volume here. So be careful if we go all the way up here, because despite we do have a resistance there and confluence, what we could be looking at, it is a buying pressure from retail. And how would that look? Let me just bring this one up. That will be looking like this retracement, because that is support, and because we are on buying section, we could be coming back up with strength, which if I prolong my dynamic reactor will be, it's not about the breakout, it is about retest and confirming your retest. Off you go, not financial advice. But if I'm going to be trading it, I either enter on the breakout here or on the retest there, or even then just wait it out all the way down here. So I'm not going to be shorting a rune. I'd rather be looking at a longing rune because it is bullish. All right. So far, so good with rune. And I mean, let me just bring up something else. Here we go. Here I have my predictive ranges. And look at that, I have a gray predictive range here, an equilibrium box in here, and also a purple line all the way down up there. So again, adding for that resistance if we make it all the way up there. So we could be going for the next big support. And then remember, reassess here, all right? Reassess there. So far, any questions on rune, please let me know. I'm gonna be marking this with a box. Let me see, where is my box? Come on, here is rectangle, and this is gonna be my confluence zone. All right, let me just lock it, then remove this one there, and then do a little bit. I'm gonna be working on my spaghetti, so it is much more understandable. Here we go, path, and let's make that one not too powerful. Here we go. And then we're gonna be doing here we go, a notation. Where is my notation? Come on, please move out of the way. Here we go. And reanalyze here. How can we tell that? Well, reanalyze. Or yeah, look back at charts. So where am I going to be adding alerts? I'm not going to be adding alerts to the upside. I'm only going to be adding one alert right here to the downside, because I'm looking to position myself. If I get somewhere around here or even somewhere around here, I will be looking at runes. So far for me, it is a no-go, but it's looking cool, right? So it is a not go for me because I'm looking at other coins. But there you go. Any question, guys, please let me know. So rune, let's do to Metis, and we need to move fast here. So let's do Metis, and I'm supposed to USDT. We have a KuCoin, OKEx, Coinbase. Let's take a look at Bybit. I believe that it could have a little bit more volume. Bybit. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see if I can add something else, or maybe KuCoin. There we go, much better. Yeah, we have it. Here we go. All right, let me clean stuff in here and let's get started. So we are bullish already. Just be careful. We have our first bullish candle here. All right, so it is turning bullish, but we don't have the candle printed now or just now. Why? Because this candle has not closed. All right, if we close in green, we are going to be having a buy signal. So we are also up there here on overbought with a reversal. Are we going to break through that dynamic reactor? We technically are, right? So we just need to close above and maybe expect a retrace. Let's see if that retrace could be having some support. So right here, yes, I'm bullish, but I don't see that. Let me grab my pen tool here. If I kind of like move it that way, I might be just kind of like looking like something like that. So let's just leave that just for now, although I do have some support lines right there. So I'm just going to be looking at this one that is also pairing with dynamic reactor, all right? So now I'm going to get rid of that one. Now look at that, my support and resistance. Again, another supporting here and another support right there. So it's looking like we could be going for that retest and hold that retest. What else? All right, look at that. Another line of support right down here. which is all right. I don't need it to be right on top of the other one. What I needed to tell me is where I do have confluence, right? Where I do have another one there. I forgot to look at or turn my eyes up there. All right, I don't have anything there up there, and I don't have much up there either. So let's see the last one. Oh, look at that beautiful high order block, another high order block, and we have a trend line coming up here. All right, there is two things that can happen in here. Now that I have most of the information laid out for me, all right, I'm just gonna be doing one more thing, and which is gonna be adding my order blocks. Here we go. This is adding right there. All right. So I'm gonna be using this one because this one kind of like adds a little bit more confluence to it. There's two scenarios. Scenario number one, it is that we retrace and we follow the speculated line right now, all right? Scenario number two is that we do a little bit farther push, and let me show you how. Something like that. Let me zoom in so you can see it better. Here we go. You see how we go for that reversal and then we do a double top in here? And what happened, look at that, we went farther up, right? So the next scenario, of course, and by the way, if you got this study error, it is a training view thing. Just either turn it on and off or just go inside, change something, change it back, and then click OK, and that'll reload the indicator. It's just trading view being, it's been very buggy lately. So, all right. So first, in number one, it's having this scenario playing out. And secondary scenario will be going up here and then retracing to this area and keep moving upwards. This support needs to be reanalyzed, all right? So be careful on that one. Let's do my boxes there so we can have them way better and much cleaner. Here we go, this area right here, and also this area right there. And dynamic reactor, let's leave that one as dynamic reactor. And well, let's just, instead of leaving it, let's remove it, right? I am meant to just prolong this. All right. Oh, come on. Here we go. Something like that. And let's draw this with a little path in here. So going up, retracing, all right, and going to this area right here. Secondary, let's just add again something like that, going back to this area and moving upwards. All right. Now I can kind of like get rid of this and this. And do we have support? Well, retail, it's been pumping this area. Retail also have been taking some profits, but if we can break into the smart money, look at the smart money here. I think we could be having enough volume to push it all the way to this area. And look at what do we have on that area. Right there, when I'm looking at this line, you see negative smart money volume. So that's why we're going back to a big supply zone and then push towards to the next resistance area where there's negative volume right there. Any questions on Metis? I will be adding alerts here. Why? Because this is one of the coins that I believe could be very volatile, and I'm not that I'm going to be planning to hold it, but I'm going to be planning to trade it. So I'm going to add three different alerts. Here we go. Basically for breaking targets to the upside, one for the retrace, and that was going to be it. Any questions so far on Metis? Please let me know. Common Man Crypto, what seems to be the issue? All right, Common Man Crypto, I see that. What version do you have? If you remove it and add it, it's not working, that's because you're adding it from favorites. And that is not the way to do it. You need to add it from invite only scripts. Because favorites, you favorite the version there. Try to remove the indicators and add it back, not from, there you go, adding from invites. Perfect. So there you go. You should have it right there. By the way, there is no way that you don't have it. Just saying. If for some reason you don't have it, maybe it's because you have not turned off and on your computer. Reboot your computer. That will reset your browser or application cookies, and then log out and log back into TradingView. That will do the trick. All right, moving into Solana and then S&P 500. Solana. Oh, good old Solana. I love to do the cap, but it seems like No one else likes that. All right. So we are basically, and this is a very old, this is a daily analysis. So let's go to daily and let's look at that one. So I was expecting to go even a little bit farther up, and that's because we have an order block. It seems like, and let me see if I can clean this up. Well, not that much. Seems like I was expecting to hit the center of the order block. What happened? I hit the bottom of the order block, and right now, look at that beautiful trend line in here, which could be added as a head and shoulders lines. All right. So I'm not going to be drawing those ones right now. But at this area, I am on a key support in the 4-hour. Just be careful on that one because we could be bouncing up here, but not for too much or too long. I am seeing this trend line coming in down here. All right, let me just manually draw it. Here we go. And also let me add this one so when I change a time frame, it remains there. And also we have this other one, which is the prolonged line right here on the channel. All right, let me even remove that channel there. So let's go to the 4-hour and let's see what we got. Remember that I am expecting a some sort of reaction right there. And for that, let me clear this up. And why am I expecting a reaction in there? Because this is big support zone. Why? Because, I mean, previously we had a stronger area right there. Now the order blocks have been going soft because we broke them or because we're grabbing that liquidity. But look at that. We stopped falling. It seems like our oscillator, oh, come on, it started turning up in here, right? Turning a little bit up there. And then also we've seen these movements here, which are wicks or absorption zones. So I do expect a farther move to the upside. How far? Let's just see my drawings up here. All right, a little messy, but we have this trend line. We have this other trend line. All right, so I'll be guessing to be somewhere around, and let me just draw it. You know what? Let me even clear this up because this is a little bit more messy than I like it. Perfect. All right, so what am I expecting? Possibly something like that. All right, why if it goes back down? Well, then we're gonna be looking at smart money areas. And what are those smart money areas? Look at that. As long as we are within here, we're gonna be seeing soft buying. So be careful. Be careful on these areas, right? Why? Because they didn't need to put too much money here for it to go up. All right. Why? Because retail was very exhausted. And then we have like something in the middle that is a selling value. So if we go here, we most likely going to be wicking to that area. So just be careful. It is a little bit too far away. So I will be adding an alert somewhere in this soft order block. When it gets to that soft order block, if I am breaking my zero line to the upside, I will be jumping for a trade right there. If not, whenever I start breaking through that trend line or to that zero line, that's when I'm going to start jumping for a possible long. That's why I'm going to add another alert right there. Any questions, guys, so far on Rune? I will be looking for a buy below 90 if it breaks. Let me see that. Below 90. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look at that. That is the smart money area that I was talking about, right? Just be careful with this one because this is kind of like a pulling it back to somewhere even 80 zones. I don't believe that we're going to get there. I believe that these areas right here are going to be of a big support if we draw back down. But if Solana keeps plummeting because of their issues, that could be it. I mean, if their chain or they get reset, reboot, or still with service down, this could be, for prolonged times or over and over, we absolutely gonna get there. If not, it will be kind of like a Bitcoin thing. So if Bitcoin drops, we're gonna be looking at that drop. So far, I'm not actually looking for Solana to go very much to the downside. And remember that Solana is one of the coins that I am looking at, right, over other coins. So I already have a big bag of Solana, and I only be just waiting for the bull market to happen. Maybe if it gets to like somewhere around 80 or 85, I'll plan to get a little bit more. But other than that, not for holding, because I already have, right? For trading, I'll be looking at this area. And let's just wrap it up to see if I have something else. Like, for example, let me just turn this one off. Let's see where my order blocks, right there. All right, so not too bad. I'll just need to see it breaking to the zero line for me to confirm this area. All right, let's see what else do I have. I mean, right breaking through that golden line, so perfect. Look at that, right at the equilibrium zone. Nice. All right, so same thing's pairing. All right, we already have seen this one. That is it. That is it. Let's just see if we have some linear regression. Oh, look at that. All right. Just because of the linear regression of the channel, right? I'm gonna be reassessing this area. And no, I think that's fine. That's fine, because for trading, I'd rather have the confirmation of the flip of the real. That's it. I'd rather go. In this case, I'd rather go for the confirmation, not reassessing. All right, let's wrap it up with S&P 500, and then Mario, get ready, brother. So let's do S&P 500. That is perfect. All right, let's go to the daily. It's all-time highs. All right, let's go even to the weekly. And again, I am expecting, or I've been expecting it to go or to be retail driven. All right, so we've keep pushing upwards here. So far, we've kind of like gone past this threshold area, and that was on the 4-hour. We'll see that, all right, because we're building up, and right now we have a bearish divergence, all right. So, oh, and also look at that, we are flat. What I do expect is a push to the upside and then a retracement, a big retracement on weekly, all right. Be careful. Let's go to daily. We should be bullish. Perfect. We have a ton of way to go. Look at that. Perfect. This is what I was expecting. You see that one? A break to this area for a possible pullback. The pullback was very minimal. All right, very minimal, basically, to this area. So it is neglected. All right, so that's fine. And as you can see, we are barely moving up and building up those bearish divergences. Be careful, because we will keep moving upwards, especially because we do have that movement or that space. And on weekly run, we still have that possibility to go up, go into the overbought area, because we are not yet overbought, all right? And then drop. So daily, looking bullish. I will not be entering S&P 500 so far, because that will be just basically getting at the top. I rather wait for a pullback, all right? Let's do 4 hours. And on 4 hours, let me just add my predictive ranges. Here, there we go. Here we go. Predictive ranges with support and resistance. Where are my predictive ranges telling me? Well, I can see that I'm going to be looking. Where is my? There we go. I can see that I have my purple line here, and I'm on a premium zone. So I'll rather see it going to the purple line, and then looking at what's happening here. On the 4 hour, we already have a bearish divergence, peak seeker, a reversal. So if I go reversal here, I want to see it breaking the zero line. If it doesn't break, we're going to bounce, all right? If it breaks to the downside, most likely we're going to go to this area, all right? It's not the end of SPX or S&P 500. It's not that it's going to be retracing, or I don't believe it's going to be a snowball effect, all right, just so you know. So when it gets somewhere here, if it gets, I'm gonna be looking for buys, all right, and I'm gonna be looking for shorting, small shorts, when we start breaking the zero line. That will be it for S&P 500. Any questions there, please let me know.